I'm just going to read this to you, and it's pretty much an autobiography that I wrote, and I originally wasn't planning on reading it, but I thought it could relate well to this event. Imagine yourself lying in a hospital bed, tired, weak, and confused. You know something is wrong with you and that you've been feeling ill and frail for the past couple of weeks, but the doctors and nurses are not giving you any clues as to what the cause of the problem is. Then a doctor comes in telling you that it seems to be a blood-related ailment and that they need to run blood tests. The next hour or so, you patiently wait with your family for the results of the tests. So far, everyone's hoping for the best, and the medical staff has been telling you that it's most likely something minor. Just then, a doctor walks in and shatters all your hopes. They give you the news that you have acute lymphocytic leukemia, a cancer of the blood. At that very moment, family bursts into tears, and you lie there motionless and shocked. This may seem like a scene from a dramatic movie, but this occurs every day to children and adults alike, and it happens to be my reality. It may seem like there is no hope when faced with challenges like this, but coming out of situations alive and well can help build courage, heart, and a new appreciation for life. I was diagnosed with leukemia on August 20th, around 2 weeks after my 17th birthday. That day, amidst all the crying, not a tear came from me. I suppose I was just trying to be brave about the situation, not to mention the overwhelming shock I was in. My mind just raced around for what seemed like hours during the few minutes following. I could not stop thinking about my life, what was going to be like after I had this disease. How would people treat me now? How long would I go through chemotherapy? How would my body cope with the medicine? All these questions and hundreds more cycled through my mind, as if it were a mental washing machine. Ultimately, I had to overcome my fear and prepare myself for what was to come. Life was going wonderfully for me before this. I had the greatest friends, a wonderful family, and I was always on an adventure. The summer was coming to an end, and I was eager to start my senior year of high school. There was not a depressing thought in my head, and I certainly never thought I would have to deal with cancer. But I had to be brave for myself and my family. I had to tackle this obstacle with a positive attitude and my head held high. That was the only way I could get through this nightmare. I would soon be getting very familiar with the hospital setting. Strange for someone who rarely went to see their doctor. The next 4 or 5 months were mostly spent either in my bed or in a hospital room. Days seemed to blend in with each other, and the lack of human contact was beginning to drive me insane. I would spend weeks lying in bed, wishing I could draw or paint or do something normal, watching the same reruns over and over again on television. I couldn't do anything else. It took all of my strength just to turn over. I did enjoy the change of scenery during the weeks spent in the hospital room, but the days weren't any better than the ones spent at home. They were days filled with IVs in my arms and chemo in my veins. Then, I would be sent back home feeling weaker than before. All I was able to do, without someone's aid, was to lie down. I felt tired, helpless, and alone. I was not attending school yet, of course. It may seem like a much-needed vacation, but all I wanted to do was go, to do something linking me back to the way life used to be. But after the first months of chemotherapy treatment started, I realized that would not be possible, physically and mentally. Aside from a few visits from friends and my family, I had not seen anyone familiar. I had not talked to anyone from school, and I wasn't even sure if they even knew what happened. To my surprise, my friends contacted me and told me that somehow everyone found out. It spread like wildfire through massive text messages, gossip, and every other form of modern communication. I didn't think anyone would care, but I was kept in their prayers, and that alone helped me along the lonesome path I was traveling. Nearly 2 years have passed since the day I was diagnosed, and I am still going through treatment. Fortunately, my trials have been matched with generosity, and I have the Children's Dream Fund to thank. Ever since I started getting treatment, the members of the Children's Dream Fund would stop by to see me in the clinic. They would ask about how I was doing, brighten my day with humor, and make me feel welcome. They would also remind me of their WISH program for children diagnosed with life-threatening illnesses, which became one of the few things I actually looked forward to. Finally, I decided on my wish, and the Children's Dream Fund did not hesitate to make it come true. The day started with a limousine ride to the Florida Mall, and proceeded with a shopping spree that went well beyond anything I had ever imagined. When we arrived, we were greeted with extreme generosity by the mall employees and my dream team. From that moment on, I would begin to see the true impact simple kindness can have, the true warmth that the human heart can give off, and the true compassion that lies within us all. After a day filled with shopping and wonderful meals, I was completely blown out of the water. I felt like royalty, thanks to every single person who helped make my dream come true. They have all gained a special place within my heart, and I cannot thank them enough. The Children's Dream Fund does just what their name implies: make children's dreams come true. Thank you.